I'm giving away this World Heavyweight Championship belt at 100,000 subscribers, so go ahead and click subscribe today. No time to waste. We're going to jump right into it, guys. Rick Boogs commenting about his WWE departure. He says without Vince McMahon, his career was basically killed. He guarantees it with 100% certainty. I kind of want to talk about this for a second because clearly Triple H has his own vision. Vince McMahon has his own vision. But if you guys go and watch my channel, I cover everything in real time. The benefit to that is we can go back and watch my videos from when Triple H took over from Vince, and you'll see that a lot changed in the product with WWE. You can see my mood change towards WWE. You can see the videos where I didn't even want to watch WWE and I only wanted to watch AEW, and you could see how things kind of alternate. But realistically, the one thing I've noticed is that Triple H has his own vision, Vince McMahon has his own vision, and lately it seems like WWE has kind of come to a compromise with the talent that they're utilizing. Now, of course, things can change, more releases can happen, but Rick Boogs, I feel like, never was really given a shot with WWE, and more so under the vision of Triple H, which makes a lot of sense. If you look at the recent releases, if you look at the guys that Triple H brought back, none of those people were released, aside from Emma, which, you know, when she was released, Emma, I mean, she's such a standout talent. It didn't make sense to me that WWE couldn't find a place for her on TV, right? But clearly there's a change in how WWE is working from a backstage perspective. I think that part is very clear. Now, whether you're Team AEW or Team WWE, Team Impact, whatever, I think I have one of the best outlooks on pro wrestling. Regardless of the company you care about the most, it is important that every company continues to make money and continues to be popular. I can confidently say that because I cover wrestling in real time, you'll see that my opinions on WWE and AEW change so often because it's based on the stories that they're telling in the moment that I'm talking about it. But the good thing is Rick Boogs could pretty much fit anywhere. He's a good wrestler. He's got great charisma. He can be a very good character in Impact Wrestling. And honestly, I know some of you guys don't like the sports entertainment stuff with AEW, but he could even do well in AEW. It's just a matter of finding something for him. And I always say, WWE's not the end-all, be-all. Go and show WWE what they're missing out on. I really hope Rick Boogs can do that. Clearly, he didn't fit with Triple H's vision. He clearly fit with Vince McMahon. And as time goes on, time is dwindling down. It's winding down, guys. And a Vince-less WWE is happening very soon. It definitely seems like that. It seems like, you know, with the rumors of him selling his shares and stuff. And it makes a lot of sense that if WWE is going to be cutting, you know, roster talents, they're going to be cutting people that they don't see a future in their company. And it sucks. But the reality is he just doesn't fit the mold of what they want. And that's why it's good that wrestling is healthy overall, because now he can go somewhere else if he chooses to continue. Guys, WWE has massive plans for Jey Uso. They've been reportedly very happy with Jey Uso. And actually what's really cool about this story is that they kind of knew for a while that they had plans for Jey Uso. Fightful Select reported that other members of the Bloodline would be focused on as important building blocks coming out of WWE SummerSlam. Those around the storyline were confident that the angle would launch Jey Uso into singles stardom. They were told the move to Raw for Jey was a part of the process, and that there are long-term plans for him with the wheels already in motion. Jey is tentatively planned for a long-term and heavily featured role that should carry at least through the next 2 months, with him getting plenty of screen time, as WWE officials are very happy with the reactions to Jey Uso. And I totally agree. I think they made the right decision here. Clearly on the money. The crowd loves him. The packaging, I mean, literally they're doing so much stuff right here. And the cool thing is that they never insulted our intelligence, because you have people on Raw who are not happy with him being there. It's great stuff, man. It's really good stuff. It works out from a creative standpoint. And look, I'm just going to throw this out there. You can agree, disagree, and I'd love to have this debate. But I feel like Jey Uso is coming across as somebody who could be a world heavyweight champion. Now, look, you got Damian Priest holding Money in the Bank, and obviously that could be a very big potential chance. There could be the chance that he cashes in, right? Shinsuke could potentially beat Seth. There's a lot of things at play here. I think Gunther, incredible Intercontinental Champion, he has shown us that he could be the world champion in WWE, Universal or World Heavyweight. But Jey Uso, I feel like, should be part of that conversation somewhere. And it wouldn't shock me if WWE is already having those conversations. And I do want to point this out as well. If they can keep the momentum going past WrestleMania, because clearly we got to get Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania 40. If we could build momentum on that, he would be my dark horse to win Money in the Bank next year. And that could be a really, really cool storyline. Now, Jimmy, on the other hand, is great as a singles guy, but I feel like there is a little bit higher priority for Jay coming out of the storyline, and it should be very interesting to watch in real time. And that brings us to our final story, guys. Tony Khan, we talked a little bit about it. AEW, new era. What does this entail? There's two things I want to discuss very specifically. The Jacksonville Jaguars basically could be leaving Jacksonville if they don't have a new deal with the city of Florida. There are talks and rumors that basically AEW could be moving their headquarters. And there seems to be a very, very interesting thing right now on the internet where people think they could be leaving. And if they leave, that means there's going to be new headquarters for Tony Khan, which obviously would change some stuff for AEW and stuff like that. But then what else is very interesting about this potential talk of a new era with AEW is ROH. Because Brian Alvarez was talking about this, and basically he was just saying, there's too many titles with ROH, and kind of insinuating that AEW should kind of move on from that. And I think that is actually a very big possibility. Look, ROH is behind a paywall. Now, I don't know the profits and stuff like that. At one point, signups were looking pretty good, but it's a very, very small niche product with a small niche audience. ROH doesn't have the same value. And look, I mean, whether you want to admit it or not, it's really not that beneficial to be doing these pre-tapes with ROH matches, charging money for it on the thing. I think WWE has kind of shown the world that having a developmental system is beneficial. And I'm not saying AEW needs to make ROH developmental, but look at ROH and look at AEW. For a while, it got to the point where ROH was on the product too many times, and it took away from the AEW stuff, and then they toned it down. ROH was pretty much non-existent for that time period. Now, all of a sudden, Adam Cole and MJF holding those tag titles, Eddie Kingston winning the ROH championship. There's a lot of stuff there. The Young Bucks, six-man tag championship belts. Now those titles are constantly on TV, and it's part of the story. I'm wondering if this new era for AEW includes a massive change with Ring of Honor as well. Maybe they start unifying titles. Maybe they start vacating titles and retiring titles. Maybe ROH gets retired. I'm not sure what Tony Khan is going to do, but I feel like the best thing going forward would be to put more attention on AEW as the product, especially if Warner Bros. Discovery isn't looking at bringing ROH in. Then truly, what value does it have? I understand you're trying to keep the brand alive, but it's not like ROH is a standalone product. It has a lot of integration with AEW, and I don't see how it benefits AEW in the slightest. And that's okay. That's okay. They got great history there. He got a great deal on the tape library and the roster and all this stuff, but ROH is, to me, it's not separate, and I think that causes big issues. This new era of AEW is going to be very, very interesting, but not as interesting as me giving away this championship belt at 100,000 subscribers. So go ahead and click subscribe today.